Hey, what's up everybody? I have a new sketchbook tour for you, and I have been really excited about this because this sketchbook has gone with me to a lot of cool places. I was gifted this sketchbook early in 2019, and I was using it at the same time that I was using another Moleskine sketchbook, and I've already done a sketchbook tour of that, so you can go back in my videos and check it out. I started this sketchbook out by doing lots of botanical studies because I had just received a botanical book and I was really into it, and I was also practicing my ink and wash quite a bit back then. It was my first time using this Seawhite of Brighton sketchbook, and I really just wanted to test the paper out at first, take it slow before I dove into like a full page painting. But once I did, I discovered that I can actually get some really interesting gradients and washes on this paper that I couldn't get in my Moleskine. So after that point, I just went for it. And a lot of the pages that you're gonna see are very heavy, drippy, splashy washes, and I had a lot of fun with this paper. A lot of the sketches you see here are featured in other videos, so when that happens, I'll point it out to you and I'll put the links in the description below. This is a good example of how fun this paper is with big splashy washes. In terms of subject matter, I was kind of jumping all over the place with flowers and botanicals and landscapes, whatever I was inspired by in the moment. And some of these are mixed media, so I use ink and watercolor or gouache and ink. Here I was testing out a full spread of really wet gouache, and it kind of got everywhere and ended up bleeding into the binding, which was kind of annoying. But for the most part, at this point in the sketchbook, I was feeling a little more comfortable with the paper, and I decided to start testing out things like salt and scratching and all sorts of stuff. Occasionally, I also write in my sketchbooks, and this is an example of just hanging out by the forest, by the river, and writing and sketching and just enjoying the day. A lot of times I do this in my notebook instead of my sketchbooks, but sometimes I just only have one with me and I just go for it. This was such a special page. It was this amazing day in the forest in autumn, and I saw a live otter run across the forest floor in front of me, and I still get goosebumps and just almost cry with happiness when I think about it. I was so lucky I grabbed my phone in time to capture a little bit. It was so cute. This was really fun because my friend visited, and I really enjoy taking people to some of my favorite spots around Scotland. So we went to the Plein Falls, and it's also this massive forest with lots of trails. So we spent the day exploring, and she's an artist, so we sat and sketched together, and it was just so fun and really, really relaxing. I love this place, and I highly recommend it to anyone who visits. It's a good day trip because it's kind of far out there in the middle of nowhere. Where we used to live, there was a really big forest with lots of trails, and I took my sketchbook there almost every day, but I didn't always paint. Sometimes I just enjoyed the sights and kind of soaked up the feeling of the forest so I could take it back to the studio. But I have really started to enjoy writing in my sketchbook. So I'll share with you this one from when I visited Isle of Skye. First light on Skye is ancient. First light on Skye is pure. It has a story to tell of times gone and dreams hidden. It speaks to us by unveiling each peak, each wave, each valley with a wash of pale color, unfolding and unraveling until the island hums the song of the day. Those first moments of velvet warmth wrap around us, swaying our minds to be calm and our hearts to be open, thankful for being let in on the secret of Skye. The story she tells becomes a part of us, and we her. We are now ancient. So I don't know if it's obvious, but the Isle of Skye is my favorite place in the entire world. The next day we took the ferry over to Glenelg. We sat by the water waiting for the ferry, and I was obsessed with how the light looked as it filtered through the water. And I only had about 3 to 5 minutes before the ferry arrived, so I was kind of rushing through that painting. We ended up visiting the Pictish Brochs that are near Glenelg, and they're these massive stone structures that people used to live inside. And you can walk inside these little tunnels in the walls, and the center is all open and I think they had rooms in there and stuff, but they're very, very cool. The last night we were on Skye, I spent a lot of time by the shore, and I was really trying to capture the misty, moody atmosphere. It was kind of stormy and a little bit, well, very dramatic, I would say. And I just wanted to spend as much time as I could soaking that up, because that's the kind of thing I love painting, and I love taking that feeling back to the studio. So these photos and paintings and videos really, really help me when I'm far away from this place. The coastline is very, very rugged, and even in the winter it's actually quite overgrown, and there's lots of really beautiful plant life and just cool things growing all over the rocks. So I have a lot of references from this location, and actually a lot of places around the coast. I just love the colors and the texture so much. This hot mess of a page was just the result of spending the afternoon in the forest, just playing with textures and washes and glazing. And honestly, it was just an excuse to be outside because it was late autumn and I was starting to get worried about being stuck inside all winter. You guys might recognize this. This was some of the stuff I did when I was in Jamaica, and I have a whole video about that if you want to go watch it. But oh my gosh, I still can't get over how beautiful the water is there. I didn't do a ton of painting while I was in Jamaica because I really just wanted to relax for once, and my family was there and I hadn't seen them in a long time. So most of the vacation was actually just spent chilling, and that's kind of rare for me. Both of these also have their own video. These are part of the mini series that I'm working on. That's kind of just an ongoing project, so you can go check those out. Same with the flowers here. And the one on the right was just kind of a fun sketch, playing with different mark making. This is also a video testing out some inks and water brushes, so you can go watch that one if you're interested in that. Kind of just doodling around in there. These are also videos, and these are both gouache, so I was just practicing layering thin layers of gouache and practicing different ways of making interesting textures. We're almost to the end, guys. This is another video. I did a full tutorial on this one, just sketching and painting with gouache. These were just some spring inspired studies. I love all the blossoms that are everywhere right now. And the last page, which again is another video that you can go watch. So I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. There's lots of random stuff as usual. Let me know if you want more explanation or if I missed talking about something. I'll see you guys again soon.